Welcome to the basic introduction of the Caddie software. I'm going to show you how to create a model. Now in Caddie, we need to create a media center with a kitchen as well as toilet facilities. So I'm going to show you quickly how to create the model, and then you can also create elevations from your model as well as a normal working 2D plan. First, I'm going to introduce to you some of the commands. On my left hand side, we call it the root menu. That is where your application is. So if I'm going to click on the build, it will give me my 3D build related commands. Then we've got the draw commands. Now these are only the most commonly used commands. If I go to draw and I go to lines, you will see some more line commands. So we're just going to make use of the basic lines for a reference, and then we're going to trace it with the 3D commands. Then we've got the geometry that we're going to make use of. That's your construction lines. It will show in your model space, or it will show in your sheets, but it will never print or plot. Then we've got some measure commands, and then we've got annotate. Now the annotate, that's where you're going to enter your text. That's where you're going to make use of leaders if you like to, as well as how to apply dimensions. We're just going to focus on some of these basics. During the presentation, I'm going to refer to what we call keyboard shortcut keys, and the help. You will see that if you want to copy something, you're going to select the object, you're going to press C on the keyboard, you're going to make use for E for end to cancel a command or to stop a command. F for freehand, you're going to make use for M of move. You can use S for snap. So when I refer to shortcut key, there's a list that you can export and you can run through it. So let's start with the basics. So I'm going to start off by creating the media center. Now the media center need to be within 180 square meters. I'm going to just make use of standard sizes. I'm going to say 10 meter by 18 meter. So all I have to do is start off with a rectangle. I'm going to draw it with lines. I'm going to say yes, indicate the start point, and then you'll notice that on your pointer, it will ask you for the next step. Have a look and see at the bottom is what we call the command line. Now it's advisable that you read the command line because some of the commands has more functionality in the command line. So make use of the command line and not only just read your pointer. Indicate the start point and Caddie asks us diagonal opposite corner. So I'm going to type in my X value. That's going to be 10,000. And I'm going to say comma. And my Y value is going to be 18,000. And I press enter because I'm drawing in millimeters. There's the media center. Then I would like to create the kitchen. Now the kitchen, I would like to do it on the right hand side. So because my pointer position is still at that corner, I can carry on and I can tell Caddie right. I want to start from that point. And now I would like to go, let's say 10,000 to the right. And I say comma, and I would like to come down, let's say 7,000. So now I'm going to say minus 7,000. As soon as I press enter, that will be my basic for my kitchen. Then I would like to add the toilet facility at the bottom left hand side. As you can see, the command is in a loop. The I press E for end, Y press escape. So I'm going to just reactivate the command again. I'm going to say yes, and now I would like to start from the left hand side. So I'm going to say S for snap, indicate the start point, and let's give the X value. I would like that to be 3,000, and my Y value need to be 6,000 down. So it's going to be minus 6,000. So I press enter, and that will be my toilet facility. All we have to do is now, because this is a normal 2D at the moment, 2D lines for orbit, you can see there at the top, we've got what we call the constraint orbit. You can make use of that command, or you can make use of your normal shift key and your left button of your mouse. Let's go to the top view, and now we're going to trace this 2D plan. So all I do is, on my left hand side, I go to build, and this is my active pen color, my active line style. So I'm just going to change to a different pen color. I'm going to say wall, and I'm just going to stick to a standard wall. We do have some saved presets like cavity walls, external plaster. As you can see, 10 plaster, 220 brick. But for our exercise, we're just going to stick to the normal standard style. So my wall height is 2,700. My justification is going to be left, and it's going to be a straight wall. My variable width is going to be 220. And then I've asked Caddie for automatic cleanup. That means where the wall is going to end, it looks in a radius of 300 millimeter. As soon as it picks up another wall, it will automatically merge. So I'm going to say OK. And Caddie will ask us indicate start of wall. Now while I'm freehand, you won't get a signal. So as soon as I press S on the keyboard for snap, you'll see that my pointer looks different. And now as soon as I move my pointer, you will get what we call signals. So I'm going to start top left hand side, indicate start point, and all I have to do is now I can just trace my profile. for end, shift left button of the mouse, and these my external walls. Now at any stage you can extend the wall. So let's say for some reason you would like to extend this external wall all the way up to there, just to show to you that the wall between the media centrum and the kitchen will now be a double wall. I'm going to show you to create single walls as well. Let's go top view again, and let's say this we have to close it as well. As soon as I move my pointer over the grip points, Caddie will give you an explanation what it does, change the words, how to extend the wall, then lengthen the wall. Press escape, and there's our model that we're going to start off. So now I'm going to show you how to create your pantry as well as your storeroom and your glass wall office. Now if I go T for top view, I can make use of, you'll see that there at the top, my pointer position. If I left click, it also gives me the same command. I like to use the keyboard shortcut T for top view. So now I'm top view, and let's start off with the pantry over here. I would like to make use of 6,000 to the left and 3,000 up. I could have typed in make use of my rectangle command again, although I'm just going to make use of construction lines. So I'm going to say parallel, and I'm going to ask Caddie my X going to be 6,000. I'm going to say OK, and Caddie will ask us click on the correct side of the line. So I'm going to click on the inside, and it means it will be 6 meters wide. I'm going to go parallel again, and I'm going to say 3,000. Say OK, and I indicate on the correct side of the wall. So this area over here will be then 6 by 3. So then we're going to create the wall. Now once again, I can change to a different pen color. I'm going to say wall, and this needs to be an internal wall. It's going to be 110, and I'm going to justification on my left hand side. What that means is if I'm going to say OK, S for snap, and indicate the start point, you will see that the wall itself will be now on the outside of my construction line. Depends if I go clockwise or anti-clockwise. So if I press escape, spacebar to repeat previous command, I'm going to say right S for snap, indicate, because I would like my wall to be on the inside of my construction line. So now I'm going anti-clockwise. So that will be my pantry. Once you select the object, you can press delete on the keyboard, and let's create another 2 offices. The one is your glass office, and then your storeroom. So I'm going to start off once again with a construction line X, and then I'm going to say parallel. The first one would be my glass wall. That needs to be 15 square meters. I want to make that 5,000 parallel to my horizontal, and I'm going to go parallel 3,000 to my vertical wall. So that area over here, that's going to be 15 square meters. So once again, go back to my wall command. Everything remains the same. I'm going to say OK. S for snap, indicate the start point, and as you can see, my wall will be on the inside because I'm going clockwise. E for end, and select them, and I can press delete on the keyboard. Or if I Control Z for undo, I can still remain the one horizontal construction line because this is where I would like to create my storeroom. So I only want to delete the bottom one. So I'm going to say parallel, and when it comes to my storeroom, I would like it to be 3,000 by 6,000. So this will be 3,000 my X and 6,000 parallel to my horizontal construction line. So 6 by 3, that will give me 18 squares. S for snap, I do get a signal, and I just go clockwise. E for end. You can select multiple objects and you can press delete as well. Now what I want to do is I want to create a wall in the middle of my toilet facility. So if I go to geometry, construction line, hold X. If I change to snap, S for snap, we'll see that I will get a signal. Now that signal presents the midpoint between the first and the end point of the line. Exactly in the middle of my toilet facility. I'm going to create internal wall. At this time, I'm going to set my justification to center, 110 millimeter. And as I zoom in, S for snap, indicate the start point, indicate the end point, and as you can see, my wall will be exactly in the middle of that construction line. So let's delete the construction line, and as we orbit it, there's your model with your pantry, your glass room, as well as your storeroom. Now I'm going to show you how to apply doors to your model. So let's go top view, and on my left hand side we go to doors. Now the first door is going to just be a standard door, 913 wide, my swing angle 90. I'm going to say OK. So I'm going to place the position. Now as I left click, I can change the hinge position till I'm happy with the hinge position, and I can press E for end. Now Caddie is the command, so indicate the next door, and as you can see, till I'm happy with the hinge position, E for end. And at any stage you can select the door and you can move it within the wall. If you add construction lines, you can be more specific. For me, it's just to introduce to you the commands. Then we need a double door for the media entrance. So the same command, but this time I'm going to look for a saved preset that looks like a double door. Okay, external double mountains. I'm going to say load, and let's change the width to 1790. Swing angle remains 90, and I can place the position. Same principle. I can select the door, move the door, or change the angle. So if I'm going to orbit it, you can see there's my double door. Default top view. And then we need a single door for the entrance to the kitchen, as well as an emergency exit on the left hand side. So that will go back to your standard door. End, for end, and as I said, you can change the direction. Another door that need to be a delivery door on the right hand side, that's for your kitchen. So we use the same command. It remains a standard. All we're going to do is we change the width to 3000, yes, and the swing angle 0, and we place the door. Another one for your glass room as well as your storeroom. So let's go to door again. As you can see, if I select the door, I can give it a new opening size, 90 degrees in this case, and on the storeroom side, we're just going to keep it shut. Let's make that 1 meter. Select those two, let's change the color, and there's all the doors. Now I'm going to show you how to create the service hatches, because you need one in your kitchen as well as for returning books in your media center. So the one in the kitchen needs to be 4 meters. So I'm just going to make use of the normal opening. My head height, my width will be 4000. My shape is going to be a rectangular shape. We say OK and we place it. So over it, there's my service hatch. Let's go top view. Same as with the media. For returning books, I'm just going to give that width of 1 meter, and once again I can reposition the opening. If I over it, that's for returning the books. Let's go top view, and now we can make use of creating shelving inside. So yes, we can make use of construction line. As you can see, you can snap at any stage to an existing component, or I'm just going to say parallel, and my shelving size is going to be 400. I'm going to go parallel to over here, and let's say it's going to be all the way up to this wall. So this is going to be one shelving up to here, up to there, and then I would like my shelving to stop, say, over here. So all I have to do is select my pen color that I want to make use of, and I'm going to say polyline or lines, doesn't matter in this case. It's just that I can say, right, this is going to present my shelving. E for end. And I can switch off my construction lines. That presents my shelving. Now when it comes to adding symbols to your drawing, I'm just going to make use of the normal 2D symbols. So we've got what we call the catalog. You can download additional content like 3D content as well. As you can see, there's some 3D symbols, but we're just going to stick to normal 2D. So I'm going to go back to Caddie 27 samples. Let's start off with the basins. As you can see, 2D symbols. So let's select the basin, and all we do is we're going to zoom in, and I can place my basin. While it's attached to my pointer, I can say and rotate. Let's make that 180 degrees, because I would like to place one on that side as well. Let's go down to WCs, water closet, and same principle. As you can see, some of the symbol is front view, back view. I know that when it comes to the main toilet, we need a wall-mounted urinal. So I'm going to use this one while we're at here, and at any stage I can just right click and rotate 180 here for freehand, and I can place my symbol. The same as when it comes to your normal toilet. Let's say I'm going to make use of this one. Drag it, right click and rotate. The one over here. I think when it comes to the men toilets, only require one toilet, but you can decide what you want to do. You can make use of a wall command for partitioning. Let's make that 90. We say OK, and we're going to ask it, let's say start over here up to there, before end. Let's add some 2D symbols to your kitchen as well. Double wash basin. So let's have a look. So we can place the first one over there, second one over there, then a stove as well. So if we go to kitchen, you see that there's 4-plate stove. Right click and rotate, this time only 90 degrees, as you can see, clockwise or anti-clockwise, and I can place it. Once you've got a symbol, you can select it, see for copy, and you can copy the symbol as well. Then you can have a fridge. You don't have to, you can actually, for that matter, create your own symbols. Let's say I'm going to create a block like that, and I'm going to add text to it. And it's going to be presenting a fridge. Fridge at the angle of 90 degrees. And if the text is too big, in object properties, I can change it to, let's say, 200. And reposition it because it's got a control point, a grip point. Select it, see for copy, indicate where I want to copy it from, hold down my tab key, and I can place another fridge. That is when it comes to your kitchen symbols as well as your bathroom symbols. Let's add some furniture to your computer room. Now my computer room is here at the top, and then my library is here at the bottom. So we need to have 10 working stations. So let's bring in some furniture, presents a desk, right click and rotate, 90 degrees, that's fine. And let's add a chair as well. Once again, the symbol should just drag and drop. In this case, need to get rotated as well. So these two components present a working desk or a station. So now we need 10 copies. So what I can do is, if I want it to be equally spaced, I can go to my modify, I can go to divide, and I can ask Caddie to divide with construction line between points. Number of segments is going to be 5. Indicate first point, last point. So now I know if I'm going to select these two components, see for copy. Now I can equally space them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this one I'm just going to bring a bit closer so that we can right click and rotate, and let's rotate this one and place it in this corner. So there's 10. As I mentioned earlier on, at any stage you can reposition your door, you can select components, M for move, and I can reposition my fridges. So there's my 10 working stations in my computer room. Let's add some furniture to your library. So my right hand side, let's have a look and see what we've got here. There's a table with 4 chairs. Drag, and I can, once again, by holding down the tab key, can keep it horizontal or vertical aligned. If I orbit it, as you can see, I make use of 2D symbols. So all the rest is 3D. My doors, my windows. We're going to add windows now to the walls. But as you can see, all my symbols, they remain 2D. Now before we're going to do the roof and the windows, let's do some paving on the outside. What I'm going to do is make use of parallel, and I would like the paving to be, let's say, 3 meter wide. So I'm going to say OK, and Caddie will ask us on what side it will need to be. And as you can see, that will be my reference points. So all I have to do is I'm going to change to a different pen color, and I'm going to say, right, let's start with a polyline from that point up to there, up to there, up to there, and then I can say I've got polar snap, keep it in line up to there and there. So E for end, and let's switch off the construction lines, and that presents my area that I'm going to fill with paving. Now to double check to make sure that it will fit, I've got a wheelchair symbol over here, and as you can see, either way, if I go down or up, it will be user friendly. Let's say rotate 180. Enough space for my paving. So let's add some hatch to it. We call it hatch for the paving. I'm going to close my catalog and it will be found under my draw, quick hatch, and the specific pattern I'm going to make use of. As you can see, you can make use of different patterns that you can apply or you can add. So I've just set up a predefined one. That's a pave brick one. So all I do is I'm going to left click, Caddie will ask us to indicate the start point, and now I'll just go clockwise. Most of the commands we normally recommend that you go clockwise. And E for end. And as you can see, there's my paving. To add windows to your model, I'm going to return to top view, and on my left hand side under bold you will find there's a window command. Now in this dialog, as you can see, we do have a standard window size, but also some specific range like the NC, ND and the PTT, the aluminium. So then you can decide which window you would like to make use of. I'm just going to stick to the NC series, and let's start with NC12F. As you can see, it picks up the window height and the size. I'm going to say OK, and now I'm just going to indicate the position for the outside face of the window. So as you can see, this is my computer room. Let's add 2 windows on that side, 1 on this side. When it comes to my glass office, we can add 1 window over there and another 2 windows on this side for my library. We can add 1, 2 over here as well. And when it comes to the storeroom, there's no windows in the storeroom, and we can add 1 at the back of the sinks for the kitchen. Let's add another 2 windows for the bathroom. So the same command, I'm just going to make use of a smaller window. Let's see the NC2F. Say OK, and let's place 1 over here and 1 over there. And let's orbit it. And as you can see, there's all my windows. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to create a roof. So let's go to the top view. And on my left hand side, under my bolt, I'm going to go down to roof. Now, as you can see, Caddie can create gables, heaped, bonnet heap, mono pitch, flat, gablet, mansard. So all we have to use is the heaped. Pitch is going to be 30 degrees, overhang 500, base height to 7, and I'm going to define with points. So I'm going to say OK, S for snap, and once again, as you can see, I like to go clockwise. So now I just show the outside of my building. Now, it's up to you. I'm going to include the toilets as well, or the toilet facility. Once I get to the last point, E for end, and as soon as I orbit it, as you can see, there's my profile for the whole building. Right, so now we're going to create an undercover walkway. I'm just going to use this paving as a reference. So I'm going to go back to my top view, and we're using the same roof command. So under bold, we go to roof. Let's make use of flat, and then my overhang, I'm going to set that to 0. My base height is going to be just below my overhead of my roof, so that will be 2500, and my profile will be by point. So I'm going to say OK. Caddie will ask us to indicate roof corners. I know there's some lines that we've created for inserting the hatch, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off the hatch now so that I can see the boundaries more clearly. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to start here at the bottom left hand side. So let's say I'm going to start over here, and once again, as you can see, I'm just going clockwise. So let's go up to there, and I want my full paving area to be covered. E for end, and if I'm going to orbit it, as you can see, there's my undercover roof. Now we're going to make use of structural members to support that roof. So I like to work from a top view because then you can be more accurate. Let's go to a structural member. In the structural member, as you can see, we've got I sections, we've got the profile types is almost endless. So I'm going to make use of a circular hollow section, or you can make use of a square hollow section. And now I'm going to make use of let's say 140mm diameter, 5mm set to column. My origin is center, and my height is the same as my roof, it's 2,500. Say OK, and now I can just place it, let's say one over there, one there, one there, one in the middle support as well. And if you orbit it, there's our flat roof supported by structural members. So let's switch back on the hatch. So let's create elevations. So the command that we're going to use is under build, and you'll see there's a vertical section. So let's first go to a top view again, and now you'll see within 3-4 clicks you can create a vertical section or horizontal section. So we're just going to focus on the vertical section for elevation. So I'm going to say quick section, indicate the section profile, the first point. Where do I want to see? I want to see the whole model up to there, and I can place my elevation. Let's create all 4 of them. It may be that sometimes you only want to see up to half of your model or to a specific point, but we normally for this exercise I'm going to include my whole model so you can see everything from the front all the way to the back. And it doesn't matter if you start from bottom to top or top to bottom, it's the same principle. And there's our elevations. So at any stage, as you can see, it refers it as a section. You can still hatch, do text, do dimensions on it. Let's go vertical section. Let's say from here to there, and you can place a dimension. Let's do horizontal dimension from here up to there. That should be 3 meters, and then up to this point. And as you can see, it doesn't matter where I indicate, my dimension remains horizontal. And let's go all the way up to the end. There we go. There's some horizontal and vertical dimension. Maybe that you want to apply room size in the drawing. So under the apps SAR 2D plan, we've got a command that says calculate room size. Although I'm working in millimeters, I'm going to ask Caddie to write my area in my drawing and make use of my alternative units, so displays square meters. So if I say OK, indicate the first point, indicate the opposite point because it's a rectangle shape, E for end, and I can place my text.